Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Good afternoon, morning, and evening. This is Drive Time with Dave, and I'm Dave. I've been buying and selling things, stuff, widgets, whatchamadoodles, whatchamathings for 20 years. People ask me questions, I give advice. The advice based on my experience, the things that I've learned. Wrong, right, or otherwise. I have failed at many businesses, and I have succeeded at many businesses, and I have succeeded at many things, and I have failed at many things. We learn through our failures. People that tell you that they've never failed, they've probably never done anything. Because you can't hardly get up, get out of bed, and take a walk across the floor without doing something. I've stubbed my toe a time or two, not paying attention, carelessly drifting through my living room, like people carelessly drift through life. You will stub your toe. You will hurt yourself. You will cause harm to yourself or others. That's never a good thing to do. We always have to pay attention to everything that we do. So, the moral of our story is, when you drive through... Wait, that's not the moral of our story. Let me back up. So here's our question. Not the moral of our story. I'm getting way ahead of myself because I've thought about this too much today because of something that transpired last night. Last night I pulled through the drive-thru of McDonald's to get my children their plain cheeseburgers that they like so much. And the McDonald's that I go to have two drive-thru lanes. And I pulled into one, and the guy in the pickup truck pulled in the other one. And I put the window down, and it probably, maybe was 30 seconds. That I said, they're waiting. And in the same 30 seconds, he revs his engine and pulls up to the first window, and then, you know, I gave him my order, and I pull up, and then he pulls up to the next window, and the guy that took my money, I'm like, wow, he was pretty unhappy because you didn't get with him right away. You didn't answer that call. He goes, yeah, that happens. He goes, the most unhappy I've ever seen somebody was they come in, their order was wrong. They took the hamburger that was wrong and hit the manager with it. And she's so nice, the nicest manager. So when I pulled up the next window, it was that manager. And I said, wow, he was pretty unhappy. She goes, yeah, he was pretty unhappy because we didn't get to him within 10 seconds. I said, well, I understand that the last time you didn't get with somebody, they whacked you with a hamburger. She goes, he was pretty unhappy. She goes, you didn't get a drink with your order. And I said, no, I got my kids some hamburgers. They like the hamburgers. And I said, you know, what's interesting about McDonald's, and I said, it's not to be mean, but a matter of fact is, when I go through the drive-thru and my order is correct, then I'm surprised. I have no expectation when I go through McDonald's drive-thru, and I said, for that matter of fact, it doesn't matter whether it's McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or any of the fast food places. My order is very, very, very rarely correct. And that's normal. And when it is correct, I'm like, wow, I think I just won the lottery. It's amazing. And she laughed, and she goes, would you like something to drink? And I'm like, actually I would, I just forgot to order. She gave me a drink, and I told her, oh, I'm so sorry that somebody hit you with a hamburger. I couldn't imagine my day being so bad. I would be so upset over ordering a hamburger that I would want to throw it at somebody or hit somebody with it. This is where you have to have a clear understanding of the way things work. Simultaneously, as you're ordering your food in that drive-thru, there are other things going on inside that business. People want to believe that they are the only customer that that business should be concerned with at that moment in time. And that is simply a fact that is just never going to be true. You always put yourself in that position, whether you're that manager or you're the person ordering the food. I never get upset when I go to, a table service restaurant. I go in and sit down and I'm going to get waited on. And the food comes out and it's wrong, which happens frequently. It seems like it happens a lot more now than ever before. Or I just actually am paying attention more now than ever before, because these are the things that are constantly on my mind. How to improve my own customer service? What are the constant problems that we're having over and over and over and over? Which, by the way, is just crazy. It's why can't I get my customer service reps to stop doing the same things over and over? But it's not the exact same situation. And it's interesting. It's the I have 10 apples in a cart versus I have a cart with 10 apples. That's exactly the same thing. But for some reason, whether it's my customer service reps or the order taker at McDonald's or the manager or any one of countless millions of people in life, not everybody sees that the same way. And as soon as you reverse it and you say it a different way, it seems to be a different problem. This, we'll call it the Care Bear mentality. We need to care. We need to slow down and try to help as much as possible. There is some truth to that statement, that we do need to slow down. And we need to help what can be helped. And as I've said before, when we don't like something, we don't like the way it works, we don't like the way it looks, we don't like the way it feels, it acts, it talks, and we cannot change it. We need to change how we feel about it. We can dislike it all we want, but the fact of the matter, it's not going to change. And if it's part of your life or part of some function of your business that you need to learn to work around, the key is you simply need to work around it. Complaining about it and talking bad about it and doing nothing but creating more problems because of it is not a path to succeed. It's mostly a path of self-destruction, because you're just putting yourself in a bad mood when you could just simply be like, every day, in and out, we do the same things. It doesn't matter whether it's our marriage. Whatever the bad habit of the person that you're married to, in a relationship with, your employees, any manner of person around you that you deal with on a daily basis, they're doing something every day that you don't like. And you find that you're back there. I was going to go someplace with that, and I completely forgot what it was. When you find yourself there in that position, in front of that person, that thing, that whatchamacallit, that widget, whatever it may be, every day you are displeased, dissatisfied, which then causes you to be dysfunctional because you are so upset. Every day it's the same outcome. How long is it going to take you to accept the fact that when I go through McDonald's and I order that food, I have a very high probability, a super high chance that it's not going to be right? And so I start saying to myself, I end up with this, the tension, the apprehension. You want me to go to McDonald's and order the kids' food? Man, every time I go to McDonald's, it's terrible. This is ridiculous. But instead, I just go, okay. And I go, and I open the bag, and I'm like, wow, they got it right. That's great. And then the next time I go through McDonald's and I open, I'm like, yeah, you're missing a hamburger. Or these aren't plain, or that's a medium fry, not a large fry, or whatever. It's just a natural course of business for me. You have to strive to have a really proper understanding of the structure, the environment you're working with. And I have a pretty good understanding of McDonald's and the fact that they're going to mess my order up 9 out of 10 times. And when they don't, I'm perfectly happy. And when they mess it up, I'm still perfectly happy. It's a minor delay. It only takes another moment, a minute, maybe 2 minutes of my time. So if I had to go back and count up every time, well, oh my gosh, McDonald's has wasted hundreds of hours of my life that I can never get back. Well, I could simply just stop going to McDonald's. But I gotta be honest, it's pretty convenient. So I want my customers that are doing business with me to think, gosh, we go to Dave because it's convenient. I like being convenient. I like providing service to people who think my service is convenient. Or whatever the items are that I might be selling, it's convenient. I'm easy to do business with. That's what you want people to think. Even though there's some complexities, or there could be some problems, there could be problems with everything. Again, I can't seem to walk across my living room without stubbing a toe on something. I could blame my kids and go, you know, you left that there. The truth is I wasn't looking. It had very little to do with them, because if I would have been looking, I wouldn't have walked into it. I would have been paying attention to what I was doing. Whether I'm writing an email or shooting a video and I want to go into the moral of the story before I've even told the story, because I'm so far ahead of myself in thought with what I'm going to say. I'm not being careful, and I've not planned accordingly. My plan was flawed. So we want to have a good plan, our POA, our plan of action. And we want to adhere to our plan as closely as possible, because when we come up with a plan and we deviate from it, typically we cause ourselves more problems. The shortest distance between two places is a straight line. And in business and life, if we come up with that plan and we know what that distance is going to be, and then the second that it has to change, well, we know it's going to take additional time. There's no point in getting upset about it. As difficult as that is, it's a very, very key lesson that we have to deal with. Every day, life and business throws us a curveball, and we have to deal with it. And getting upset and allowing it to wreck our day doesn't help us any, because then we can't think clearly, and so we just have to learn to deal with it. Over the weekend, I was asked a question. How do I deal with employees coming and going? They quit, they leave, they're unhappy, they don't stay. Well, I don't know, I don't think much about it. And that was my answer. And then I immediately get an email back going, what do you mean you don't think much about it? Well, I hire an employee, they do a job, they want to quit, they've quit. I hire another employee to do the job, and I train them just like I trained the last one. They weren't happy. I would prefer not to have an unhappy employee, because as it turns out, that one unhappy employee can create more problems with morale than it's worth. So it's easier just for me to say, hey, if you're not happy, I completely understand. Go get another job. If you are not happy, you create your own problems. I can't tell you how to be happy. All I can do is tell you that all the things that you think our problems truly are not problems. They're minor inconveniences. Start looking at some of these things that you think are devastating problems. Is it really a problem? Is it going to cost you all the money in the whole world that you've got to fix the problem? Or is it just require you to come up with a solution? Change something you're doing. Put a smile on when you didn't have a smile. Will that fix the problem? A problem is a problem. And a problem is going to cost money, time, the emotional side. Are other people involved? Or is it a minor inconvenience? An annoyance? That's what my problems are. I don't have real problems. My real problems are when my 6-year-old has 102.5 fever. That's a problem. On the emotional side, everything. Because it brings everybody down. And there's no nothing in the entire world I can do to make him feel better. That is a real problem. I'm Dave. This was Drive Time. And you enjoy your problems because they will make your life better or worse. I'll see you soon.